We've tested quite a number of Huawei laptops in the past, and honestly, we are pretty impressed with most of them. They've somehow managed to always strike a good balance between performance, aesthetics, and value. Well, this is the Huawei MateBook D16, and it kind of continues that trend. And yes, this is actually the base configuration. And even with that, it might just be the best 16-inch laptop for all you students out there. First of all, we do want to mention that there are two variants to this laptop. You can either go Team Red with AMD, or you can go with this, Team Blue with Intel. But whichever you choose, it's going to be the exact same chassis. So let's start by talking about the design. Honestly, it's a really simple and clean design that will really appeal well to most of you out there, especially if you're looking for a really minimalistic look. In fact, if you do go with this color option, the Mystic Silver, we would say that it takes a little bit of inspiration from the old MacBook Pros, which also featured that same black plastic hinge. Apart from that, the chassis is also mostly made out of CNC aluminum, which gives it a rather solid build quality with little to no flex. And despite the 16-inch form factor, the laptop weighs a rather decent 1.7 kilograms or about 3.7 pounds. Overall, from an aesthetic standpoint, it's a really clean and neat design. It's definitely going to appeal well to most of you out there who just want a really clean look and you don't want to stand out from the crowd and be really flamboyant or flashy per se. And in all honesty, I would say that most of us can agree on this. Now lift the lid and you'll be greeted with a pretty great 16-inch display that boasts a 1080p resolution in a 16:10 aspect ratio. You'll also be glad to know that this is an IPS panel. It will cover 100% sRGB and get up to a decent 300 nits in max brightness. So be it for general browsing, working on your documents, or even watching YouTube or Netflix for long periods at a time, this display will perform. On that note, the speakers are actually rather decent as well. There are two speakers, each located in a corner firing downwards, and they do get loud enough to fill your immediate vicinity. The bass is definitely lacking for sure, but the highs and mids are clear and clean and will play nice with most genres of music and entertainment. And again, it is a pretty large display at 16 inches, which you'll definitely appreciate be it at school, at home, or wherever you might be. Now up top, you do get a full HD webcam and the image quality is not bad at all. It's going to do you fine for discussing topics with your classmates, for projects, or attending an online lesson. All of that, no issues at all. And as you can tell, microphones are pretty decent as well. We then move down to the keyboard, and with a 16-inch laptop, you do get a full-size keyboard complete with the number pad. The typing experience is honestly pretty nice and kind of classic in a way. You do get 1.5mm of key travel, and it does feature a soft bottom mount as well, resulting in a really pleasant and soft typing experience. You can tap on this keyboard for an hour or two and you'll still be comfortable from start to end. In addition, it is backlit and the power button doubles up as a fingerprint reader, which makes logging in and out of the laptop that much easier. Definitely something you'll appreciate in a place like school. Unfortunately, however, we can't really say the same for the trackpad because the experience just wasn't as stellar. While it tracks well and has a really nice and smooth surface, the main issue would really be the placement of it and the click mechanism. More often than not, your palm will be resting on it while typing, and if you put a little too much force, even high up on the sides, it will trigger the click mechanism and cause slight accidental inputs. Now the issue will be quickly alleviated once you adjust your typing posture or perhaps just connect a mouse and disable the trackpad, but well, something to take note of. On the right, you get two standard USB ports, one of which is USB 2.0 and the other being USB 3.2 Gen 1. On the left, you get two USB-C ports, one of which will support data, charging and display port, while the other will only support data and charging, alongside HDMI 2.0 and a 3.5mm combo jack. Personal opinion, while the USB 2.0 port might not sound like much, it's going to be great as a permanent home for your wireless dongle for your wireless mouse, so it's not too bad. And then we come to one of the most important factors when considering a laptop for students, battery life. The MateBook D16 comes with a 60Wh battery and a 65W USB-C charger. In effect, you get roughly 6 to 7 hours of average use, which isn't fantastic by any means, and we definitely agree it could be better. However, depending on your use case and where your environment is, this might not be too big an issue for you. And the fact that it charges via USB-C means you don't need to bring the included charger around. Any high wattage GAN charger will do the trick and save you some weight in the backpack while you're at it. But now let's talk about performance, and indeed we do have the base configuration. That will get you an Intel Core i5-12450H, 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and half a terabyte of PCIe 3.0 SSD storage. In Cinebench R23, the Core i5 was able to score roughly 8200 and 1400 in the multi-core and single-core respectively in the standard balanced power profile, and that will increase to about 8800 and 1600 respectively in the performance power profile. Rendering our usual 10-minute 1080p edit in DaVinci Resolve, there is a much lesser difference between the two profiles as both manage to render in just about 22 minutes. As for gaming, well, we can say that it's an okay experience, but it's definitely not the best, which is understandable given the fact that the Core i5-12450H only has the standard Intel UHD graphics and does not have the much better Intel Iris Xe graphics. Even so, if Valorant is all that you play, it will actually perform rather well. Additionally, you didn't really need to worry about temperatures with most gaming and general load scenarios averaging around 75 degrees Celsius. It will sustain 90 degrees with something like Cinebench R23, but it does so at 3 GHz, which is a full gigahertz above the base clock. In addition, the fan noise is pretty minimal even under load, which is a nice plus. But here's the main reason as to why this might just be the best laptop option for you students out there, especially in the 16-inch form factor: the price. For this exact configuration, it'll set you back roughly 1300 Singapore dollars, which translates to about 900 US dollars. That is honestly quite the bargain, and you're getting a really great value here, especially considering the display, the keyboard, the performance, all of it. It is just a great no-nonsense laptop that can take on most of the things that you will need as a student. Seriously, you're pretty much covered on every front here, and that is pretty fantastic. And even if you're not a student, perhaps you're just using it for home or for the office, it's going to be great as well. Now we do have some gripes, such as the fact that Huawei partitions that single SSD into 2 drives for really no reason, and a not so great trackpad. But other than that, it's great. We really can't fault it, especially when you take the price into consideration. Huawei does make really great value laptops, and we are just glad to see it here and possibly much more in the future. And honestly, yes, in that regard, we really do quite like this laptop, especially for what it is. For a student, this might just be awesome. If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section down below. If you'd like to, do check out the affiliate links as well. If you do, thanks for your support. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to us here on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Till the next one, see ya!